I became curious after I read this article, and I thought, well, there must be something to this given this scientific research and what it shows about its ability to basically effectively treat alcoholism. So I reached out to her. I said, I know that you understand the mushroom and have for some time. I want to understand it. I'm curious, and I want to see what this is all about. After for years thinking this is just a bunch of crazy hippie stuff I didn't want nothing to do with. So between 2018 and 2022, I had a series of psilocybin mushroom journeys. The first one was just very mild at 3 grams. It was enough to kind of get the extra sensory ability to kind of see and hear and feel things a little differently. And then I had probably 8 to 10 additional journeys of various intensities. Most of them were beautiful. Some of them were terrifying. All of them were profound. And at the end of that process, I became an absolute believer in what other civilizations have known for thousands of years, and that is our Creator has put plants on this earth whose purpose is to work with human chemistry to provide us with just a small window of opportunity to look behind the veil and into eternity. So to understand who we are, where we come from, and how our true alignment is with the source of divine love that flows through all of us.
Amen.
So I read about a lady who she actually wrote about her own stories with psilocybin and how it helped her overcome her anxiety and depression that had crippled her for most of her life, as well as a near-fatal eating disorder, in addition to her atheism. So I reached out to her and I said, hey, I've been given this job in Kentucky. You wrote about your experiences beautifully. What can you tell me about the world of psychedelics and whether there's anything in it that has special application to opioid addiction? On July the 29th, 2022, down in Siesta Key, Florida, on family vacations when I had this call, and it was the day that I heard the word Ibogaine for the first time. She said, are you familiar with this? I said, I've never heard of it in my life. She said, I'm going to put you in touch with another lady who can tell you about her recovery experience with Ibogaine. She put me in touch with a lady by the name of Juliana Mulligan who gave me her story. And basically, she had been an opioid-dependent individual for almost a decade. And she said she had done it all. Heroin, fentanyl. She'd been in and out of jail. She'd been homeless at different points in time.
Wow.
She said she'd been through every recovery process that could be invented. Abstinence programs, 12-step programs, and she'd been through Suboxone treatment. And she said what they don't tell you about Suboxone is that the way in which it attaches to your system, she said, for me, Suboxone withdrawal made heroin withdrawal seem like a cakewalk. And she said it was the awfulest thing I ever experienced. She said, I became so tired of the life I had to live to secure my supply, I relocated to Colombia to teach English as a sacred language.
God.
And in Colombia, they have open pharmacy, meaning you can go in there and just get whatever you want.
Oh, yeah. Most of my dreams take place in damn Colombia.
Yeah. Well, that's where she found herself and why. So she said, one day I got up and looked in my mirror, and she said, I knew I was going to die.
Wow.
And she said, I was just desperate to give myself one more chance to be able to live because I knew I wasn't going to make it. She said, I got online and started researching, and I came across this thing called Ibogaine. And she said it just sounded ridiculous in terms of what it was supposed to be able to do.
Yeah, it sounds like a damn protein powder, you know?
Yeah. She said it sounded too good to be true. It just sounded like a bunch of kookiness, really. She said, but I was desperate. And I was willing to try anything that could give me my life back. So she said, I went to an Ibogaine place in Guatemala, somebody who could provide it. And she said, what I didn't know at the time is that Ibogaine comes with a very serious cardiac side effect, meaning if you take too much of it, though it is a stimulant, it will slow your heart down, stop it, and you'll die. You have to. Ibogaine is a very serious medication. It has no recreational purpose whatsoever. You know, you hear about parties and raves of different kind, cocaine parties or heroin parties. Nobody's ever heard of an Ibogaine party.
No.
Because unless you think being semi-paralyzed for 10 to 12 hours and throwing up over that same time's a good time, you ain't going to have a good time.
Yeah, just go get food poisoning or whatever.
That's right.
Know?
There's no food poisoning parties happening in the United States, just like Ibogaine. Yeah. So Juliana makes her way to Guatemala, and she gets Ibogaine treatment.